Hey guys, so I'm going to do a live real quick, and I'm going to keep it kind of short, but I'm going to be going over how I personally talk to potentials, whether it's customers or ambassadors, because I've been going over this a lot lately with mostly level ones, but some other people as well. I just felt like I needed to make a resource for it because it's obviously needed. So I'm going to be going over some tricks and tips I've learned both through personal experience over the last almost 2 years, and just things I've learned from like Eric Worre and Victor Antonio and different things like that. And I'm going to be letting you know what works for me personally. So yeah, I'm going to get to it. So when I'm talking to customers, that's what I'm going to start with, because I talk to them a little bit differently, whether it's potential customers or ambassadors. So when someone comes to me and says, Rachel, what is Plexus? Or can you tell me more about it? Or, whatever it is, they initiate the conversation. And I usually come back with, hey, I'd love to tell you more about it. It's a health and wellness company with 16 plant-based products like probiotics, multivitamins, natural anti-inflammatories, and more. And then I ask, what are your health goals? I'll make some recommendations. So what I did there is I did 2 sentences and a question. I keep it really short, I keep it really simple, and I always end with a question, because a lot of times if you just tell them what Plexus is and you send them a whole book explaining about it, then they're gonna get scared and they're not gonna know what to say back, and they're like, okay, cool, thanks. So it's really all about kind of controlling the conversation in a sense and giving them something to respond to. So yeah, so they say, what's Plexus? And I tell them 2 sentences real quick, and then I say, what are your health goals? I'll make some recommendations. And then they tell me what their health goals are, and I'm like, okay, awesome, I have some products in mind, but is there a budget that you want to stay in? And then they tell me, and they either give me a budget, or they say, well, just give me some options in a varying price range, and I'll go from there. And so either way works. I'm totally fine with that. I like it when they give me free reign personally. But yeah, anyway, so they do that, and then they budget, and then I come up with some products that would be perfect for them based upon their health goals and their budget. And I can do another video on this, or we can talk personally about what I would recommend for what. But oftentimes, for example, option 1, I would say, let's do, triplex. It's, for just the slim, it would be $79, but if you buy all 3, it's $124. And I kind of say it that way, and then I explain, it focuses on gut health and overall health, as well as blood sugar regulation. And I just give them kind of a short overview of what those 3 products do. And then I say option 2, you could do Probio 5, BioCleanse, and Mega X. Now the same, it's going to focus on gut health, but it's also, you get the omegas in there, which are plant-based, no fish, and omegas are proven, clinically proven to help with sleep, triglycerides, heart health, and what else am I missing? Oh yeah, stress, duh. And then option 3, I would say maybe Edge and X Factor or something, depending upon what they told me. I give them 2 to 3 options, and I give them the price of everything. And then, I usually stay around their budget, or if they ask for 3 different, a varying price range. And then I end it with, which option do you think would be best for you? I also tell them that they can mix and match, of course, obviously. But I always end it with a question, and they say, oh, well, I think option 2 would be perfect for me. And, I might want to try the slim later, but right now, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, great. Okay, so I'm really busy right now, but I have a couple minutes, and I really want to be here to help walk you through. If I sent you instructions on how to order, would you be able to do that? And you see what I did there? I said, if I would you. Okay, it's a really powerful phrase. I learned this from the book GoPro. And then they're like, oh, yes, I can right now. And they send me, I send them the instructions because I'm in a hurry, you guys, and I am. I'm pretty busy. But if they can't do it, then they're like, well, can I do it tonight? I'm busy with the kids right now or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. What time would be best? And they tell me, okay, I'll make sure I keep a couple minutes, free for you around that time. And I'll be like, I'll message you then. And then I gotta go because I'm busy, right? I'm like, talk to you later. And then I just put a note in my planner, or, an alarm on my phone to contact them later, or And if they say they can't order till Friday, be like, okay, awesome. I'll follow up with you then. I gotta go right now, but let me know if you need anything in the meantime. And then I put it in my calendar to follow up with them on Friday. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Cut and dry, back and forth. It's really important to control the conversation, because a lot of times people, they don't know how this works. They've never talked to somebody, through Facebook or through text, to sell something. And so a lot of times they'll ask you questions, but they don't really know where to go with the conversation. And then oftentimes it dies down, and then you don't know how to follow up because it's awkward. So, if you follow kind of that same method, I find it works really well, you guys, really, really well. So, definitely try that. Make sure you're ending with questions, keeping it short, keeping it simple, not giving too much information, using the key phrase, if I would you. Oh yeah, and then the last thing is setting up the next follow-up, letting them know, hey, I'm going to follow up with you in a couple days, or I'm going to follow up with you on Friday, or I'm going to, I'll text you tonight. And until they are ready, physically ready to get on and order, you don't send them the instructions on how to order until then, which is what I posted the other day on the team page, is the instructions that I send, and I save it until then, because it gives me something to send to them, instead of just being like, hey, did you order? Did you order? Did you order? So yeah, that's what I do. And now if it's an ambassador, a potential ambassador, if they're like, hey, they approach me at the business side, Rachel, I want to know more about the business that you're doing. And I used to not really know how to respond to that. Be like, well, do you want to know about the products or the business, or I don't know. It's just kind of awkward. And they're like, I don't know, both. So at this point, if they say anything about the business, then I'm like, hey, my phone was saying. I say, hey, I have some information written up that I can send to you. And I say, if I send it to you, would you read it? Okay, if I would you. And I'm like, yes, of course. And I have it saved in my phone, and I can send it to you guys if you need me to. And it just goes over, here's the products, here's an overview of the comp plan, here's an overview of what we do, here's how we advertise, yada yada, here's our training. And it's just a really broad overview. It's maybe 5 paragraphs or so, not super long. And at the end I say, after you've had a chance to read this, what does it say? Yeah, if you've had once you've had a chance to read this, I'd love to get your thoughts. And, let's meet up if they're local, or if they're not local, I say, let's have a phone call or FaceTime or Skype or whatever. And once you get them in person, they're usually sold. They're usually interested. They can ask you a lot of questions. You can be real with them. You can bring them some samples. You can go over more about the comp plan in detail. And once they see all that, they're going to be sold, and they're going to be super excited. And then you can offer to pre-train and mentor them, and go over the new ambassador orientation, and all these things, and they're gonna be super excited, and it's gonna be great. So with ambassadors, it's a little bit different once that initial contact is made and you send that initial information. But with customers, it's pretty cut and dry. But with ambassadors, potential ambassadors, you got to be a little bit more personalized, I guess. So yeah, Carson, I'll get you that information. Melody, you too. Maybe I'll post it in the comments to this, and I should probably make it a file anyway. But yeah, anyway, so that's about it. I hope that helps, and helps you guys close some sales. So I'll talk to you later.